Good morning, EDUC 3200. This is Heather Lynn speaking to you, and I wanted to give you a brief introduction to the school analysis paper assignment that you're going to be working on for the next 2 weeks. I am in Blackboard on your in our course site for EDUC 3200. Let me see if I can pull up the home page. So I'll start with the announcements slides. So first off, we are going to be spending the next 2 weeks working on your critical assignment for this class, which is the analysis of a school improvement plan. And I'm going to share with you some resources that I put on Blackboard and walk you through those resources. So this will take about 10 minutes or so, and hopefully this will be enough information to kind of get you started. So first off, I'm going to go to weekly directions on Blackboard. And there you're going to see what's expected of you. So we are now on the week of March 19th through 25th. And this week we are going to be working on the rough draft of this assignment. So this is designed to help get the ball rolling with writing this paper, but also to help you learn how to submit this paper, because we are in a writing intensive course. 3200 is designated as writing intensive. Some of you may have already had a writing intensive course, so you may be familiar with that. But if you're not, basically what it means is we do a lot of writing in this course. And not only is a goal for you to learn content, but another goal is for you to improve and hone your writing and communication skills. And this is so important as teachers because we're going to be sending letters home to parents. We're going to be writing up reports about our students. We're going to be doing a lot of documentation that's going to require really clear writing. So this course is designed to give you feedback not just on what you're learning, but your writing. And that's why I try to incorporate editorial suggestions about your writing like I did on your midterm. So the directions for week 10 are very simple, and which is the week of March 19th to 25th, which is starting today. And basically, you're going to be reviewing all of the chapters that you've read thus far in this course. So 3, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. You're going to use Ornstein as your basis for writing this paper. And this week, you're going to work on a rough draft. So I would encourage you guys to write a rough draft that is formatted similar to how your final draft will be formatted. And by that, I mean put it into a narrative paper format. I suggest this because I can give you better feedback if you get it into this format early on. So you'll submit this rough draft by Sunday the 25th, and I will be working on giving you feedback Monday. I'll try to turn it around within a day or two so you have most of the week to work on your final draft. So for directions, I've given you 2 places you can go. Your assignment link, where you've been submitting your assignments up to this point, we'll have some directions here for how to write this paper. And these are right out of your syllabus, so you can always go back to your syllabus if you have questions. So when you want to submit, you go to the week of March 19 to 25, you press the title button, and that will open up a submission link, which you guys know how to do. And there you'll attach your submission. And then briefly, I'll just show you, but I won't go through them here. I'll show you on the other tab. You will also have directions for the paper itself, so the school analysis directions, and directions for how to sign up for an account for iWebFolio and how to post your assignment there. Now, you do not post your rough draft to the iWebFolio, but what I would like you to do is I would like you to go ahead and go through the instructions. If you're not familiar with iWebFolio, take some time this week to familiarize yourself with it. There are tutorials, so I'll show you that too. So ultimately, the next week, after you get your feedback on your rough draft, which will be Monday or Tuesday, so that would be March 26th, 27th, you'll be getting that feedback. Then you need to work on your final draft of the paper. And that final draft is due Sunday, April the 1st. So again, I've basically just posted the same 2 links because it's the same document that you're working on. And what you need to know is the final draft, because this is a critical assignment for this course, it will go on Blackboard So you'll just attach it here using the assignment link in the title. It will also go in your iWeb folio. Okay, so that's why I want you to go ahead and get on there and explore that website, set up an account if you haven't already set one up and for past courses, and contact, help support if you have any questions. I would like you guys to be working on that this week, so next week that's not something that puts you in a panic. I definitely don't want you working on this the day of the final draft, like April 1st, because Sundays, I can't guarantee you're going to get support. So you want to be working on that during the week when you have a chance to take the time to do that. And I will say, while I've taught foundations before, this is my first time using iWeb Folio as well. So I will help you as best I can, but my knowledge is also limited. I'm learning right alongside with you. So I would probably also point you to the support that's on their website, and we'll all learn together, and I'll definitely be here to help you if you have any questions, but I would recommend you not wait till the last minute to work on getting that account set up and learning how to use it. Okay, so those are where you put your rough draft and your final draft of this paper. So I created another tab on Blackboard specifically for this called School Analysis Paper Information. I put the same instructions up there. I put the directions, the iWeb Folio information link, and then I put some resources up here because I'm going to explain what you're going to do in this paper. So let's start with the directions, and we'll go through that for a minute. And again, this is in your syllabus, pretty much the same thing. So you're going to write a paper, and the paper will have 4 sections that have at least 750 words each. And each section is going to look at a school. So basically, you're going to start by selecting a school improvement plan that you're interested in. Now, you may choose any school improvement plan you wish. If you're interning somewhere, if you're doing a practicum somewhere, it may be nice to use the school improvement plan from that school. Or if you're interested in working at a particular school one day, you might want to use that school improvement plan. You can really choose any plan you want. Not all school improvement plans are available publicly. Some of them are on the school's websites. Some of them you can find through going to the county's website. And I'll show you some examples. And so some of them are not public, and if you really, really, really want that school improvement plan, you'll have to ask someone from the school to get a copy. So for time, because you don't have a lot of time, you need to be working on that this week, I would recommend that you get something that is already publicly available. That way you're not worrying about trying to wait for someone to get a document to you. So once you've selected your school improvement plan, a school improvement plan, I put some resources on that, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. You're going to analyze it. And you're going to talk about 4 different things. You're going to talk about the school's purpose and their curriculum. You're going to talk about the school's philosophy and theoretical approach, the school's culture, socialization, and equity, and conclusions and recommendations. So you're going to look at the school's improvement plan, and you're going to think about your readings to date, because our readings have talked about purpose, curriculum, philosophy, theory, and last week you looked at culture, socialization, and equity. So you're going to basically pull evidence from your readings, and each of these sections has some different prompts that you can respond to. So, for example, what are the goals of the school in section 1? Are the stated goals supported by the curriculum it uses? So you're going to just do your best here with trying to think about, from the school improvement plan, what some of the major goals are and objectives are. And then you can think about how do those goals relate to what I've learned about goals and curriculum from the readings? How do they relate to history or people that have influenced development of curriculum? Very much like what you did in your discussion boards when you talked about, what kind of influences have an impact on schools today. The same with section 2. You can think about, based on these goals, what is the theoretical approach? What is the philosophical approach of that school? And again, what influences may have impacted that approach from past, kind of like you did in your discussion board. And if you feel like the school should follow a different philosophy to meet these goals, what would you recommend? So again, this requires a lot of critical thinking because you're going to have to read these plans and then apply it to what you've learned. And so for your rough draft, I want to see as much detail as you can provide, but I also understand that you're going to need to be continuing to work and research for the following week as well. So do your best to get the ball rolling and get some details in there for each section, but that way I can give you some feedback. And but know that you're not going to have it all completely fleshed out in 1 week. It's going to probably take you the full 2 weeks to get the final draft written. So again, in addition to the school improvement plan, you can research the school in any way that gives you sufficient information about that school. So you can go to the school's website, you can look at their mission statement, you can look at anything that usually the principal has a page where they talk a little bit about the goals of the school. I highly recommend you use the school's online resources and published materials to help analyze the school more in depth. And you can also email, call, or visit the school and talk to the faculty and administration. So if you have access to that school, you might actually conduct a brief, face-to-face phone or email conversation where you ask a few of these questions and see if you can get some feedback. Again, if you email a principal, you might not get feedback right away, or you might have to call. So just be aware that principals can be very difficult to reach. And an assistant principal might be easier to access if you choose to reach out to someone from the school. But this can be very helpful too to give you more insight about the school in each of these sections. So the paper has a word count of at least 3,000 words. It does not include references, so you do need to reference Ornstein text in these prompts. You want to write it in APA format, so you want to double space it, 1-inch margins, 12-point font. You want to number your pages, all of that. The paper must be original, and your work must adhere to the integrity policy. So these are the guidelines, and I'll try to answer questions as they come because, again, we're learning together. So if I find that we need to make some adjustments midstream based on your feedback, I am going to be flexible and help you with that. So I want everyone to feel like they understand what to do and feel confident in it. Okay, so going back to school analysis paper information, that tab on Blackboard, here you have the iWebfolio and instruction link. Now again, because this is a writing intensive course, you will need to submit the final draft to your iWebfolio. And this document gives you some brief directions on how to do that. The best thing you can do is go to the iWebfolio instructions, which are linked down here, and I'll show you that. The other thing that I also recommend to many of you is to contact the Writing Center. If you have any questions about your iWebfolio, setting it up, or how to use it, they would be your best contacts. So again, you want to do this during the week because that's when you're most likely to get some help. Weekends are going to be difficult. They can also proofread your paper. And for those of you that don't live anywhere near campus, they can set up phone consultations and they can even work with you through email. So they're extremely supportive to our online students, and you don't have to live on campus to access their support. And I have recommended that some of you guys, especially, send your drafts to the Writing Center and get someone to proofread it and give you some feedback, because that's also going to help improve your writing long term. And the more feedback you get, the stronger a writer you become. So we don't get better without revision. Revision is just necessary for everyone who writes. You're never done learning how to write. So don't look at it as a weakness. Look at it as an opportunity to become more proficient in your writing. So this document is really important because it gives you this link, and I'm going to go to this link. Let me see if I've got it here. I think this is it. Yeah, let me just make sure. Yeah, it's the same link. Okay. So the link takes you to the QEP support. QEP is Quality Enhancement Plan, but basically the writing intensive courses are a part of the university's quality enhancement plan. So if you look to this right-hand column, you see there are student instructions for using the iPortfolio. So there's a student checklist, which says start here. There's also videos on how to upload your materials, how to give your instructor permission to access, how to set up your port, how to upload large files, which I don't think this is going to be a large file, so you probably don't have to worry about that. But I would take some time this week to explore some of these videos and go ahead and try to access and register your iWebfolio. That way, that's not something that's going to stress you out next week when the final draft is due. So, and then there should be contact information here too if you're having difficulty. Yes, QEP writing liaisons. Let's see if there's anything else. Here's a University Writing Center link. So again, you can contact them if you want some support or having trouble with the iWebfolio. Again, they're going to probably a lot better help than I will be. But of course, if you're running into problems, please let me know. Okay, so going back to Blackboard. The last thing that I wanted to show you are for those of you guys that might not be familiar with school improvement plans. The first folder is some resources about a school improvement plan. The first document is a link to the Department of Public Instruction, and this is just gives you some information about what a school improvement plan is. So that link is helpful. The next one is an actual document, the School Improvement Planning Guide, again put out by North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. And it's very long, so you don't need to read it, but I would scan it. It's very helpful because it tells you a little bit about, especially like Section 3 and Section 4, some guidelines on how to create a school improvement plan and how to execute it. So again, this will deepen your understanding of how schools make these plans and how they're used. So again, it gives you more information that you just have context. And then there is one example PowerPoint of Pender County Schools Low Performing Schools Plan, which is just sort of something I threw in there to give you an example to kind of, again, review for example help. This is actually the district school improvement plan, where you're going to actually go to a specific school. But again, you'll get some information on the school improvement process, and it just is an example to kind of, again, learn more about this. And then I'm going to go back to school analysis paper information. And as I said, if you need help finding school improvement plans, I've created another folder called School Improvement Plan Examples. And here I've got public examples from 5 counties. There are certainly more counties in North Carolina that are going to have school improvement plans linked. But this gives you something to start with. And some of these are major school systems like Guilford and Charlotte Meck are major school systems. Oh no, I need to fix that link. That didn't work. Okay, I'll fix that link. Let's go to one. Hopefully this will work. Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools. I hope it will work. Okay, good. So here, Charlotte Mecklenburg has listed all their school improvement plans by year and by grade level. So let's just say you're interested in school improvement plans from elementary schools. You just click on that and then look. There are all the plans for all the schools, elementary schools in Charlotte Mecklenburg County. So you should be able to, find an example, even if it's a school you don't know, but you could use it. And, and if you have a school in mind that you really want to use, I would recommend going to the county website, kind of like I've done here with Charlotte Mecklenburg, and Googling it, like whatever county you're looking at and school improvement plan. Or another option is just to go to the school's website and see if it's posted there. If it's not easy to find, I would probably move on to something easier to find because you just don't have a lot of time to find a school improvement plan. I'll get that Guilford County link fixed, but there's a link for Pitt County schools. I know a lot of you guys who are in the region are going to be interning in Pitt County, so they've just listed all of their schools' links here, and I'll just pull up an example. Let's go to North Pitt High, and you'll see a school improvement plan. Well, hopefully you will. Okay, it just linked to their website, but let's see if we can find the plan here. Oh my goodness. Our school, go to resources. There it is. It's under resources for a school improvement plan. So again, it's going to be a document, probably PDF file. And then it looks like you have to do a guest login. So it makes it you have to do some steps, but you can get to it. So going back, I'll just show you really quickly. They've got a guest and a guest login and password you can use to access their plan. So you have to do a little digging. It's not always right there, front and center, but you can find it. Okay, so those are example school improvement plans if you need to pull from somewhere and you're having trouble finding one. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop there. This is well over 10 minutes, and I will keep posting information as we go, but hopefully this will get you started. This week, the week of the 19th, I would do the following. I would find a school improvement plan. I would read through these resources in the school analysis paper information. I would be reading about school improvement plans. I would be looking at some videos and setting up an account in my iWebfolio. And then finally, I would start drafting some things, even if it's just fragments and bullets, although I'd prefer you to try to get it into paper form just because there's more. But I would start writing. I would start putting ideas down, answering these discussion prompts. And you can continue working on this over the next 2 weeks. But you have quite a bit to do, but this is kind of the big assignment for this semester. So the good news is it'll be done by April 1st. So we won't have to worry about this at the end of the semester when it's a million other assignments are due. So I hope this is helpful. I'm going to be here to help you through the process. We're going to help each other. And I'm going to stop now because I went so long. Sorry about that.